What up, gang? Line Carolina Jackpot time coming at you. It's Wednesday morning. I hope everybody's doing good today. Link will be down in the description box below for Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App to Carolina Jackpot for the Callaway's College Football Pick'em Challenge. If you're not familiar with that, just go back on my page, a couple of videos to one I made Saturday. It explains the entire layout of the contest in detail and what we are doing. We have a heck of a good time every year with this contest, and I expect 2025's version to be no different. And we've done a few things to tweak it as well to make it a little bit more user-friendly. So listen up for the details on that particular video that I referenced to you. Want to talk a little bit about Clemson this morning. Man, a lot of hype surrounding the Taters this year. You've got people wagering money on them to make the national championship game, go to the national championship, win the damn thing. Their odds to win the ACC are astronomically great. I gotta tell you, I don't see it. I don't buy it. I'll believe it if and when I see it, but I'm not quite sure that I do. Cade Klubnik looked good last year, Taters, but this year you are actually, believe it or not, they're actually facing a tougher schedule than what they did last year. Once again, you're bookending it with two SEC teams, LSU and the Gamecocks. Last year, you bookended it with Georgia and the Gamecocks. But in the middle last year, there really weren't a lot of tests. Oh, except for the game against Louisville, which you lost. This year, you're playing some of those games that are tests for you, i.e. the game against Louisville. You play that on the road. You're also, and look, I think a lot of people are kind of sleeping on Louisville, but Jeff Brom, a great offensive mind there, pretty good head coach, I believe. He brings in, former 5-star Miller Moss from USC to lead that offense. They always have a ton of speed there at the skill positions. Defense is the part that's always kind of questionable. They could get that figured out. Louisville, I think, would be a top 15 team pretty consistently. You got a road game against Georgia Tech that, everybody's high on Georgia Tech. I'm kind of 50-50 on them. They lost some players to the transfer portal who were kind of important, but they say they've replaced them. They got an offensive coordinator, Buster Faulkner. I almost call him Buster Posey. I think he played for the San Francisco Giants. Buster Faulkner, pretty well-paid offensive coordinator. So they got some good stuff going on at Tech. You got a game at home against SMU. I don't think that one's going to be a walk in the park. There's a team that's looking for some revenge. There's also a team that I think is kind of getting written off because of their showing in the college football playoff against Penn State. Look, that was their first time on a really, really big stage. They were on a really big stage, a week before that, in the ACC championship game against you people, and almost came back and won the damn thing. Honestly, they should have. They have lost some pieces there, so I'm not 100% sold on SMU being anywhere near the level they were last year, but I think it's doable, especially when you've got a good quarterback coming back. I mean, you've got a lot of the puzzle knocked out already. So those are kind of going to be tough outs. I think you end up stubbing your toe and losing one of them, and I also think you either lose the home opener to LSU or you lose the road game at South Carolina. Am I so delusional to think that Clemson couldn't beat South Carolina in Columbia just because we've won 2 of the last 3? Well, we won them at Clemson. For some reason, South Carolina at Clemson plays just much better than they do against Clemson in Columbia. That's an odd thing, but there are anomalies like that in these rivalries. It's why people really enjoy those rivalry type games, because it sets you up for all kind of scenarios that just don't make a ton of sense. South Carolina being able to be like one of, three teams to beat Clemson since 2016 in their stadium. It's kind of strange. Some people say we cheated over on another channel. Some people say we cheated in 2022, but they don't want to address it when you ask them, well, how did we cheat when Clemson turned the ball over 3 times, one of them in crucial field position with about 2 minutes left in the game where they could have set up a game-winning field goal? Crickets. There's crickets. When you ask them, well, how did we cheat when Clemson was kind of running the ball against us in the first half pretty effectively with Will Shipley, and in the second half, DJ Ukulele decided to go on ahead and push the ball down the field, and Dabo was the one who changed the game plan to do that and reflect it. Well, that ended up losing you the game because you couldn't move the ball in the second half. Crickets on that again too. And Clemson fans weren't championing the fact that they thought we stole their signals. It's been Tennessee 100% of the time. It's not been Clemson. That's what makes this whole thing, this whole argument, just asinine at its core. Why would your arch rival, the team that hates you worse than anybody else out there tenfold, not say a damn thing about it if they thought that you were cheating to beat them? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. None of it makes any sense. It's all bullshit. And sooner or later it's going. I'm surprised we hear a story yesterday on a particular YouTube channel when the allegations came out against Central Michigan, that now they are revealed to be under full NCAA investigation. They have some things that they have to answer to by September for letting Connor Stallions on their sideline. Hey, I mean, it sounded like they were in on the cheating too. It sounds to me like Jim Harbaugh paid his buddy Jim McElwain something, gave him a little extra cheese on his Whopper to let Connor Stallions on their sidelines to do his shit. Because, look, I could conceivably see somebody dressing up in a Florida State coach's outfit and somehow gaining access to sneak onto the sideline and going undetected for a while. Things are going crazy. You got a game going on here. You got guys out here signaling. Well, at the time, it would have been, but now you got your helmet cam and stuff. So a lot of that's going away. You got signaling stuff in. You got trainers running around here. You got players here and there. I could see something like that, and you may be blending in. And Central Michigan sidelines, those people probably, it was a road game against Michigan State where he was at in his little disguise. They don't have all their coaches and staff at those games. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm not going to tell you I'm an expert, but it makes a lot of sense to me that a group of 5 team would not bring every staffer, every pencil pusher, clipboard holder, every Tom, Dick, and Harry to road games, because it's cost effective to keep them at home if they're not that vital to the plan. So I would think, I say all that to say, I would think that if this was something that Jim McElwain had no idea about, that he'd have known it. If he saw him over there, he would have been easy to spot. And in the film, I believe, it reflects like him walking past and maybe even looking at Stallions. So yeah, you don't know that guy's not on your staff. That guy was kind of strange anyway. So that being said, got real off topic there. But getting back to the original argument. Do I think Clemson's a good team? Yes. Do I think they're going to be good this year? Do I think they'll be improved over what they were last year? Yes. Are they a natty game or a natty championship contender? No, I don't think so. I think you still lack the depth. I think there's still holes that probably could have been plugged by the transfer portal. Like, Dabo brought in a couple of guys. You know, most other teams are bringing in at least a half dozen impact players, which he has the ability where he could have brought in impact players. It's still it's a relevant brand. Kids would have come there. He chooses not to do it. I mean, the guy you landed from Purdue, I mean, I think that'll be a difference maker. And look, the starting 22 for Clemson is really good. But as far as it goes behind that, the depth, and you ain't got it, bruh. I mean, you hadn't been recruiting at the level that you were used to during the championship run. So I could see Clemson making the playoff. I could also see him possibly winning a game in the playoff. But going any further than that, I just don't see it. Now, I don't see South Carolina making the playoffs. So anybody that's out there bumping their gums about where Coop don't know what he's talking about, I don't see South Carolina making the playoffs this year. I feel there's too much inexperience there, and they play some tough teams at inopportune times and teams that they just haven't fared all that well against. So don't think that this is just hatred directed toward, which I do hate Clemson. I mean, let's not get that twisted. I absolutely hate you. But I'm trying to give you my best logical take here. I think it's a close but no cigar type situation for the Taters in 2025. I still think Cade Klubnik's a little shaky at time, even though he did perform really well last year most of the time when he played some of the tougher defenses. You saw a little bit of struggle bus riding there. That's what I see from the Taters. No running game really to speak of either. You guys are sitting here making fun of South Carolina trying to get Rasul Faison eligible to play. We're trying to get a 27-year-old running back. He's not 27 years old, first of all. Second of all, he's better than any running back you have on your roster. That's why we're trying to get him on. He's good. That's what I see with Clemson. Let me talk about Tennessee here for a minute. Josh Heupel in his little press conference to kick off preseason practice. Talking about Boo Carter, famously Boo Carter, the defensive back who wants to be a wide receiver, wants to do everything on the team, wants everybody to look at him. Pretty much is what I get from it. This guy's bad news, and he goes and he runs off to California or something to find another agent. He's probably out there going to Colorado to try to sniff the waters there and find out how he can get on that team and leave you high and dry. This is not a great person. Then now they've got him back on the team, and they're all excited about it and welcoming him back with open arms. Boo's back on the team. Josh Heupel letting everybody know that, hey, he's going to have to do some things, but he's back part of our football program. Well, bravo, golf clap, Boo. Thank you for coming and doing what you're supposed to do. Thank you for coming and doing what you're getting paid. I would say, I don't know how much he makes. Probably at least $1 million to come do. Side note, I don't even think the guy's even that damn good. I ain't heard of anything great that he did last year. Of course, Tennessee football last year to me was boring. I've watched Tennessee, kind of with the high-flying stuff that we got used to in 2021 and 22 with Hendon Hooker and the frisbee-catching dogs and throwing the ball seemed like on every play, even though everybody said they're actually a running team. It seemed like they're throwing it all the time. That was exciting, must-watch football. I liked watching that, even when they were beating somebody. As long as it wasn't my team, I really didn't care. But the style of football they've been playing is this run first, chew up the clock BS. It's like it's Kentucky on steroids, and I don't particularly care for that style of football, so I really haven't been watching them all that much. But Josh Heupel seems like to me a decent program manager. He knows what he needs to do, but sometimes I'm thinking that he's having a problem with kind of wringing somebody's neck a little bit. As soon as they first start screwing up, he's giving them a little bit too much rope. because he's having some culture problems there. It's kind of like a TV dad type persona. If you get what I'm saying, I say that because if you look at the man, he kind of reminds me of John Goodman when he played Dan Connor in the sitcom Roseanne. I'm talking about the 1990s version, not the 2018 Ozempic John Goodman brand there. And people say to me, boy, you ain't got no room to talk about nobody being fat. You ain't got nobody being fat. You got a double chin, a big old belly. Well, the same reason Ray Charles made fun of blind people. I do it because I can. And because deep down you like it. So we got them out of the way. We got Boo Carter out of the way. And we got Central Michigan out of the way. And Gamecocks. Nothing really new to report here. Preseason practice starting up on Friday. Shane Beamer has no news on Rasul Faison. You got people over there tweeting at the NCAA, hashtag Free Sewell. I appreciate the efforts. I really do. I think everybody does. I'm sure he appreciates the efforts too. What a load of shit. What a load of shit for the institution that's supposed to be looking out for the betterment of college athletes to treat a college athlete like absolute shit. And I say that by saying, if he's not eligible by the rules, then he's not eligible. Well, you need to go ahead and tell him that, because these guys, playing means everything to them. And if he's not going to be able to play, then you've got to let him know that early and often. Or not early and often. You've got to let him know that early enough to where he can make a decision to what he can do. He can better himself. He could probably, I don't know, he's not, without another season, I don't know that he's an NFL player, but he could certainly get into one of these lower level leagues, a Canadian league or something like that, to get on there, get on a pro roster, maybe hone his craft a little bit to get a little bit better. But you're not giving him that opportunity. You're stringing him the fuck along, and I don't appreciate it. I don't think it's right. You shouldn't treat people that way, but you don't care, obviously, do you? Right? Because everybody sues you. You're just a big bunch of babies throwing temper tantrums. Anyway, that's about all I got to say about that, guys. I got to go get to work. I will see y'all later. Appreciate your peace. I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks. Woo! I said, woo!